Hi everybody, Dan Illman and Mike Beer. Let's throw up the field for Thursday's DRFBets Race of the Day. It's the 6th race at Aqueduct, kicking off the 50-cent late pick 4. We're going 11 furlongs on the inner turf. It is an entry-level allowance for fillies and mares. You can download free formulator past performances for this race on the Race of the Day event page at DRF.com. Access them and handicap along with us. We'll begin by taking a look at the Timeform US pace projector, and yeah, I agree. Betty F, the 5 is going to show some early speed, stretching out from 6 to 11 furlongs. The 1 Tass, who went gate to wire last time out, expected to be close. I think Fancy That, the 2 is going to be close. It'll be interesting to see if Manny Franco decides to rate Betty F, but to be honest with you, I would put her on Ascend. Tass is fast. Tass, I think, will concede.
Yeah, I think it all comes down to tactics. I think you're right about that. Personally, I would maybe flip the 1 and the 5. I think Tass is going to the front again, especially the way that they rode her last time. I mean, Kendrick Carmouche, who was not riding this time because he has a different mount in the race, he wanted to lead with this horse last time, and he made sure that he got it. And then she wired the field, and I thought she ran well, Dan, for the 3rd consecutive time on turf. I mean, I think she's run really well in each of her last 3 turf races. To me, it's just a question of whether she stretches out.
Well, let's take a look at Tass's most recent start. First race with Lasix, as Mike mentioned, Kendrick Carmouche put her on the front end. She ran a very fast 3rd quarter to try to get everybody off the bridle. She's got that horse down in the pocket, sort of boxed in, can't get out. But Tass really fired, I thought, in this race. And Mike's right. She really hasn't done anything wrong on the turf in her career. She draws inside. She is going to show some speed. The real question is the distance. She's stretching out past 1 mile and a 16th.
Yeah, it's all a question of whether she'll get it, and I'm not so sure that she won't. We'll see what happens with her, Dan, because I really liked the ride she got last time, and you saw in the replay there. She was just, holding those horses safe all through the stretch. I thought it was actually a nice win for her, coming off of an effort 2-back where she just got in all kinds of traffic through the stretch and never really had a fair chance.
Perhaps you can make some excuses for the 2, Fancy That. The only time she raced on firm turf, she was just completely overmatched at 62-1 against the graded stakes class Varenka. She's been on yielding and good turf in her last 2 races, including this most recent effort, an optional claimer. She's in the white cap on the outside with the white noseband. She's been on a 3-wide chase around both turns, and this horse in front is just simply better. Pivotal Connection. Fancy That ran okay, and her buyers are moving forward. She has tactical speed, and I think she'll get this distance.
Yeah, I'm not worried about distance with her either. I guess the only question I have is how good is she? But all your points are well taken about her turf race. I mean, she was in over her head the first time they switched her over, and I guess she was just in against better horses in her last 2 races as well. I don't love any of her turf performances. I do recognize that she has improved on grass.
The number 3, Kingdom's Queen, has entered main track only. We'll move on to the 4, Ali Darius, who was listed as a vet scratch on August the 31st, came back off a short layoff last time out at Laurel, was 31-1 against weaker beaten claimers, and merely passed some tired horses. This filly's going to be a long shot in here. Being by English Channel, she has license to appreciate the distance.
It's going to take more than that for her to get anything in this race. She's shipping in here with a stablemate of hers, Broken English, who's also in this field, and they just both look like they're completely over their heads.
I think Betty F's a little bit of a sleeper in here. Let's analyze her 3 races in North America. Her first came off of a layoff in Southern California. She was the favorite that day, and she just really didn't do a lot of running. Maybe you just want to blame the layoff, running on that hard track in Southern California. In the Noble Damsel, she had no chance. She was overmatched, and then they turned her all the way back to 6 furlongs, and I'm not really sure she's that kind of a horse. I'm not sure she's an 11-furlong horse either. They're stretching her all the way out. She'll be forwardly placed. She's got the pedigree to be any kind.
I mean, they're trying all kinds of different things with it. It's almost kind of like they're throwing their hands up with her. She was not a bad horse in England. And so I'm sure that they had at least some high hopes for when she got here. Personally, I thought her Del Mar race off that layoff was not terrible. It was only a couple of months after she shipped over here. To me, she got caught in all kinds of traffic in the stretch. I didn't think she had a fair chance in that race. After that, I don't really know what to say. I know that she wasn't going to win the Noble Damsel, but I wanted to see her do maybe a little bit of running in that race, and she really didn't. Cutting back last time, I sort of felt the same way, Dan. I kind of would have been surprised if she won. I would have liked to see her do a little bit of running in the race, and she really hasn't. So it made it hard for me to like her. But this is not a terrible spot if she can handle the distance.
What does a shark say? I'm assuming it says, I want to be in front at the finish as we take a look at the stretch run of What Does a Shark Say's maiden victory. I thought this is a good effort, altering course off heels in behind horses, still looking for that clear path, Mike, for Jimmy Toner, now getting to the outside, still has some work to do. I like the way this Animal Kingdom filly finished this race off. It was her first race on firm turf with blinkers. She's all upside for an excellent trainer.
Yeah, and in a lot of ways, I think she's the horse to beat in here. I really like that performance for once she pushed her way clear. I like the way she overran those leaders in there, going away at the end. It makes you feel like the distance is no problem for her. She showed good tactical speed in that race as well, so she did a good trip in this spot. I just think there's a lot to like about this horse.
Team Win is entered for main track only, so we'll move on to Beale Street. The filly, it doesn't have a lot of speed, but is shipping up from the Mid-Atlantic area in good form for trainer Michael Matz. Let's take a look at her most recent start, an allowance race at Laurel. Mike, take him home.
She's way in the back right now. Basically, the last horse on your screen. Now she just went out of the screen. She was moving to the outside there. She's going to put in a good late run here. At this point, it just looks like she's not going to get anything. Here she comes now with a really nice run through the final furlong to get up for second. The horse that won the race wired the field. I'm not really sure. I guess I shouldn't criticize the rider, Dan, because this filly just doesn't really have any speed. So there's just not a lot he can do with her, I guess. But he's basically given her no chance to win either of her last two starts. Way too far back at the top of the stretch, making good runs both times to get pieces at the end. He's just got to try to find a way to get her more involved. Maybe the extra distance will help this horse, and maybe it won't, but I just think she's a little bit better than she looks on paper.
And that last race, sneaky good from a class standpoint. That pace-pressing winner, Japutakata, came back to run second in a stakes race at Parks with a 79 buyer. Beale Street doesn't have a lot of speed, but I've been following her on the Mid-Atlantic circuit. She is in very good form, and you're right. Her last two races, really good from impossible spots. Monhegan ships up from Colonial Downs for trainer Michael Matson. This horse won a maiden race in her 9th lifetime start. I thought she got a good setup that day, coming from off of the pace to win. She was 4-5. She was supposed to beat those horses. Distance is not going to be a problem for her. She is bred to run about 6 miles. We'll see how she handles the hike up in class as she runs in New York.
Yeah, she just found the right field last time, it seemed to me. It just really wasn't that great a field, and she did win very easily at the end. She's been in New York basically all spring and summer, not running poorly, but she just has that one-geared running style, which it just feels like if anybody gets the jump on her, she's going to have a tough time running them down.
Broken English was 125-1 last time out at Belmont. Didn't do much running. Actually is stepping up in class. Would kind of be a shocker.
Yeah, she'd just be a huge shock in this race.
Quiet Dignity goes out for Chad Brown. This is a filly that has run 79 buyers in all 3 of her races in North America. I thought she had some traffic issues last time out in mid-stretch in behind horses. Really didn't get out until late in the game and was running a bit at the end of that race. I think this distance is good for her, but we've seen her now 3 times. I think she's okay. I think she's probably going to be bet simply because of her connections and because she has competitive buyer speed figures. And while she can obviously win this race, I just don't want to take her at a short price where I don't feel she has such a strong edge on the field.
We look at her the exact same way, Dan. She's, one of the more logical horses in this race. She's clearly not great. She's run okay in her 3 starts over here, not great. I just didn't really want any kind of even close to short price on her, and it feels like you're going to have to take an underlay on her because of her connections.
Top pick time for the DRFBets Thursday race of the day. I liked what I saw from Tass last time out. I want to see how she handles this extra distance, if maybe she can secure the lead away from Betty F, or if Betty F doesn't want to go this far, there might be a point in this race where she inherits a lead and might try to spurt clear. I went 1, 2, 11, and 8. You're going with Beale Street. This extra distance, she might run these down.
And we'll see if she gets a better trip this time. I'm not sure that she can do it. I have no argument with your top pick, Tass. I think she makes a lot of sense. I think Toner's horse, What Does a Shark Say, makes a ton of sense in here. I'm not really against either of those 2 horses, but I wanted to take a shot with Beale Street. I thought she'd be a good price in this race.
Nice race to kick off the 50-cent pick 4 at the Big A on Thursday. It has an approximate post time of 2:47 Eastern. Best of luck.